Hi everyone. Are we live now? I think we are. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm just checking. I think we're live. Yay. Yes, I think so. Oh my gosh. I was literally sitting here. I've got no excuses. Hello, whoever's just given me a little thumbs up so you can hear me okay? That's fine. Gosh. That was a little bit of a mad rush. I was literally sitting here kind of thinking, sure I'm meant to be doing something else before I finish work. And I was like, oh, what shall I do next? And I just kind of like looked over at my desk and I thought, maybe I should do the live that I'm meant to be doing. Just completely forgot. It's been one of those days. It's been a crazy day. Hi, Monica. Hi, thanks for joining me. Sorry I'm late. 15 minutes late. That's terrible. We haven't done that for ages. So, hi, Willow. What a lovely name. And hello, Chrissy. Right, okay, I'm going to crack straight on because time is getting on now. I haven't even had my tea. I was like thinking, oh, yeah, I've had a good day today. You know, I've done loads of it. Been working since 6 o'clock this morning, got a head start. And I forgot an appointment. It must be one of those days. I did have a migraine last night through the night, so maybe that I'm going to use that as an excuse because I did forget an appointment earlier as well, and just went out to the post and went and dropped some stuff off at the tip. And while I was out, kind of got phone calls saying people are here to see you, and I thought it was tomorrow. To be honest, I'm blaming menopause anyway. We're here now. So let's crack on, shall we? I kind of like this is because I got totally taken unawares there. So I've not even planned what I was going to make. I kind of had an idea in my head of what I wanted to do. And I don't think that's going to happen now because it would involve a lot of die cutting and it'd take ages. And I was supposed to prep all that this afternoon. So I think what we might do is, well, I'll let you guys decide. So there's 4 of you here right now. So we can either do a flowery card, or using the new dies, which are just gorgeous. Or we have here on my desk, I actually have. We could do a Christmas card, or using dies, or we could do Halloween with stamps. So it's entirely up to you. So in the comments, just tell me Christmas, Halloween, or flowers, and I'll do what you want. So just quickly type a comment: Christmas, Halloween, or flowers, and I'll do whatever. I also feel like I'm in the dark. It doesn't seem like I'm in the dark on the screen. But my desk is really dark because I've not had time to set all my lights up or anything. I have got lights on in here, but it looks okay on screen. It's weird. Hi, Natalia. Right, okay, so I've got one Christmas. So come on, I need 6 votes. New dies and Christmas. I can't do both. Well, maybe I can. Christmas card with the new dies. Christmas. Oh, you're all wanting Christmas. Okay. Right, okay. I'm just kind of thinking now because I've got 2 sets. Are you sure you don't want me to do Halloween? Look how cute these are. Right, okay. So we've got a choice of, oh well, let me see. I did have it in my head what I was kind of going to do, and I've just I've flummoxed myself now. And I was in the warehouse earlier, and I actually picked out some kind of older product. Also, resounding Christmas. Okay, I picked out some older products, and there's one here that like just let's see if we can make two, shall we? Two. Let me get on with it. Right. Okay. No hellos today or anything. I'm just going to crack straight on. Okay. So in the warehouse earlier, I came across this die, and he's so cute. And to be honest, we've had him quite a while, and I think he's been a bit overlooked. We've barely got any makes from the design team with this one. I think sometimes we have releases, and there's so many different things in the releases that we kind of forget some of the others. So I thought, I picked him out, and I thought, oh, he's so cute, this little polar bear. We need to make something with him. I have never used this die set. Isn't that terrible? You know, and we have had him a long time. He's actually on clearance. So, you know, go and grab him on clearance. So you're getting 3, 4, 5, 6 dies in this set. So let's just quickly die cut him out. I've got any card stuff. Yeah, of course we do. So how are you all today? I hope you've had a better day than I have. God, who just forgets that they're meant to be live on the internet at that time? Right, okay. It was literally 7:05. And I thought, oh my God, I'm actually meant to be on right now. Okay. I'm just going to do all of this in white. Okay, it's easier. And this is actually one of the reasons why I do like to die cut in white, just because it is much easier to just cut everything in white, and then you're not faffing around going backwards and forwards with all your different colour cardstock. And I am quite a lazy crafter, I must confess. So anything that makes life a little bit easier is good in my book. Look, I was going to use the flowers. We'll see if we can do that. We'll see if we've got time and stuff. I won't drag this on too long tonight. Where's my maggots? Okay. So I'm just picking up. If you've not seen our magnet tools, I'm sure you have by now. Oh, I've just lost a snowball. Never mind. Basically, this is why these magnets are so good, because you can just pick them up and put them back. So you can see I have no nails right now. I never do, to be honest. And it just kills my nails, and my fingers are so sensitive. I just find that they just make it easy to put everything back, to lift it up and to put it back again. So let's get this all out of the way. Also, I use a magnetic mat, and what I love about the wands is that they can actually hold my bits and pieces down on my mat as well. Frozen. Excuse me. I've got a bit of a croaky throat. I did the other day as well, didn't I? So you'll have to just excuse me. Right, I'm going to just make a card blank. And I'm going to do something really rash, because you may all have noticed that this is actually my favourite colour. Oh, so turquoise is just my favourite colour of all time. So for me, I have a ton of this cardstock, and I've had it for years because I won't use. Oh dear. Okay, I've lost Instagram. Oh, that's a shame. I've lost Instagram. Sorry guys that we're on Instagram. Just bear with me a second while I just post a comment, because people will be hanging there and won't know. Please join me on YouTube. Okay, right, before I forget, little code for you. If you use the code LIVE10 for 10% off your order, that's that's up until oh gosh, I've got, what day is it? I'll just quickly set that up. A couple of days. I just threw the code on so that I had a code to give you. Yeah, so I won't use this card. So this is a major achievement for me to be using this card stock. Don't underestimate it. Excuse me. Right, what else have we got here? Oh, yes. Okay. So I've also got this gorgeous, gorgeous die. And again, this is another one that gets overlooked a bit. This is just beautiful, this. And although it's kind of like a border, I've just opened a brand new one. Do you know what? I've got one in my stash somewhere. Never mind. I'm going to just cut everything out of white. So I'm going to put that there. And then also, I've got these parcels that now, I'm going to cut all of these things. I don't know whether this is going to work. I might be making too much here, but I'm going to try. And oh, I'm annoyed with myself because I've already got these in my stash. But I don't want to go waste time trying to find them. Come on, get out there. Okay. So just use your wand to actually release your dies. So because these are taped down as well, I just find it makes it easier to just lift them up. So we've got these 3 gorgeous parcels. And then I've got another one here. Sorry, this is die heavy. No stamping. Not tonight, Josephine. And then this is the iced branches. And this definitely gets overlooked. Yes, it is like a tiara. It's very much like a tiara. It's kind of very regal and sort of crown-like, isn't it? I absolutely love it. And like I say, we've had it in our range for a long time now. All of these dies, we've had a long time. And I must admit, it's not that we haven't sold any. It's because we actually ordered a lot at the time. Probably too many. And we don't have a lot left. We've got a handful of each. But I'm on a bit of a mission to try and actually use up some of our older products wherever I can. You know, we all get carried away, don't we, with all the new stuff all the time. And it's the same with you at home and your stash. You know, we're all the same, and I'm exactly the same. It's just I've got a warehouse full, you know, and I still, you know, kind of, like I say, I can't. It bugs me that we don't use our older products as much as we should. Now, I'm gonna, yeah. So, sorry, I haven't used these for such a long time. I've just got to reaccustom myself with these. Right, let's get all this off here. Oh, I'm in a bit of a flap, girls. Okay. Get that off. These have all got tape on the back, which is why it's taking me a while. Okay, let me just grab a drink. Do you like this side camera? Or do you prefer the overhead one here? Let me move that up a bit. So I quite like the side one, and I've also got this front one as well. That looks a bit fuzzy. So side one, I quite like this angle. I kind of feel like you can see things quite well on this side angle. Right, okay. So what I was thinking, And I might have to use a little bit of chipboard here to if I can find any, just to create. Oh no! In fact, let's see what else we've got in here. Okay, right. I've changed my mind, guys. Okay, look what I've just found. So now I've actually used this on the back and stamped it, but I'm quite tempted to kind of do something like this with this, or maybe I might use that even. Let me see. So this is the Yuletide MDF collection that we had. Oh yeah, some really nice things in here. Oh yeah, look at all these bits and pieces. Right, let's get that out as well. You know what I'm like? I'm so visual, and it's like I have to get everything out in front of me. Okay. So we'll do that instead of a bit of chipboard. Okay. So we've got our MDF here. What I am going to do is I'm going to just actually paint that very quickly with some acrylic. So I didn't intend doing this at all. Where's my brushes and everything gone? Okay. Got the biggest brush in the world. Okay, let's just, if I do this first, as we're messing around, this should then be dry. Oh, okay. We knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Just have a palette. I'm just grabbing some. Look. Yeah, I will. Okay. Oh, crikey. Right, okay. So, let me just get all this off here. So, I just want to quickly paint this. Now, you could do this with gesso if you want to, but acrylic, to be honest, if you get a nice, decent acrylic that isn't too thin, so, you know, like, I mean, this one's a good one, the System 3 one by Daily Rowney, rather. You can see how nicely that actually covers. And gesso's great, but you don't always need to use gesso. I'm going to give this a little blast just to get that drying. And then it'll be side is better quality. It is tonight. I don't know what's going on. I think I don't know whether the mother-in-law's streaming something. She might be streaming a program or something at this time of night. I suppose I can't believe how bright the screen is, because it isn't that bright in real life. I feel like I'm sat in the dark. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to grab a spongy while I'm here. This is nearly dry anyway. Look, it's already drying. And just put that there. Look, the brush is going everywhere. Oh, it's going to be one of them days. Stay. Okay, that's almost dry, so it's tacky, that's fine. Right, okay. I've got a bit, since I've been using the sponges from my desk, I can't stand a mess on my desk anymore. I've gone from one extreme to another. Right, okay, I've got some paint here. Don't think I've ever used this colour. Oh, no, I haven't. Oh, gosh. Right, before you use a paint, that's basically got all the binder. Paint is made up of a binder and pigment. And if you've never used it before, make sure you actually mix it. Okay, right. Because if you don't, what happens is all the binder comes out, which is what's just happened here. So I need to just put that back in. There's quite a lot came out. And I don't want to compromise the integrity of the paint. So I've had these quite a while, as you can guess. Okay, right, that should be okay. I'm having to do this because I haven't actually taken the. Oh no, it's still very. Oh, bear with me. I can feel it's kind of not all mixed together. Let's give it a bit of a mix up. That should be. It's very runny. That's better. Oh, okay. Oh look, I'm getting in a right blather. How not to do a live video. Okay, so I have got some water here, but I'm just gonna chuck that on my spongy. So look, I don't care about getting this paint on because it's just gonna wash out. And look, it just absorbs into the sponge. Look, can you see how it's just absorbed? I mean, that was a lot of paint on there. So as long as I don't like dig my fingers in that bit, it's actually making it a lot cleaner for me to paint. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is just get a little bit of white and a little bit of green. I don't know if this is going to work. And I'm just going to mix that. A bit more white. Okay. And then a bit more green on this side. I want to kind of do, I don't know whether it'll work because the paint's a bit thin, but I was kind of hoping to do a bit of kind of the, gosh, what do you call it? The sort of folk art, you know, like the bargee painting. Steph does it. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine. So, a bit too much blue. Well, it's like a greeny blue. Like I say, it's my favourite colour. So let me put that down. Okay. And it's just going to give us like a nice kind of cast around this bauble. And what it's going to do is allow me, because we've got the white polar bear, I don't want everything to be like too white on white. I might just put a little bit more in the middle there. So this is very impromptu crafting. So remember, I am going to give something away. Oh, I don't want to waste all that paint. Where's my palette knife gone? I wonder if I can scrape that up. I don't think I can with this. No. No. I'll have to just wipe it. Okay. So that's my bauble. I'm not going to kind of do much else with that right now. I might come back to it and I might mess around with it a bit more. You know what I'm like. So again, I'm just going to put that. So we've got our card. We've got our bauble. Ignore my messy hands. Let me move this out of the way. I need to be further in here. That's it. That's better. Okay. So we'll just put the paint to a side for now. In fact, actually, just before I do, there's something I do want to do. So our stencil butter frosting. So this is brand new. This is gorgeous. And what I'm going to do is, oh, this is just lush. So what I'm going to do is just show you this. Now, this looks completely white on the camera, but it has like a haze on it. It's very iridescent. And this is going to look absolutely amazing on here as well. So let's add some texture. So this is, I've got a bit of blue in there, never mind. So this is Ocean Sparkles. And this is basically when, if you use it on black, you get a real blue sheen coming through. But when you use it on white like this or a pale background, it actually is very, very just like a shimmer, like a blue hint of a shimmer. It's like an interference colour. It's absolutely gorgeous. We've got Mermaid Mist, which gives a purple shimmer, the same. You won't be able to see that yet, but as it dries, it's going to look really, really nice. And what I want to do is, let's make, because we're going to make something sort of snowy. Let me put my card over so I don't get a mess. So I was going to kind of do something there, but that I would do if I wasn't on camera, but I won't. Because I'll get in a right mess. So I'm just going to dab this around the edge. I'm using quite a lot here because obviously for you guys I want you to be able to see it, but I would probably be a bit meaner in real life if I was just making a card for somebody else. I'd probably be a little bit meaner. So let's just dab that around the edge and make that actually look like snow. This is drying already. It's very warm in here anyway. But you can see how, what I really love about our paste is it's really thick. You know, a lot of them are very thin and kind of almost like just, you know, kind of like a glossy accents with a bit of colour in it. That's not what I wanted. So these are like, I don't know, they are, well, you can see how thick and kind of gloopy it is. It's fab for making snow. This is going to look absolutely lush when it's actually all dried and everything. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually add some extra sparkle onto that because it's going to stick. It does spread like butter, and the texture is kind of like butter. Look, it is like butter. Look, that is not going anywhere. Some of them, each one's a slightly different colour. Slightly different texture. You see, look, that just sticks. It's really nice and thick. Some of them are slightly, you know, kind of thinner than others. It all depends on the pigments that they use and the structure of the actual pigment. But they're each, you know, very different. So like I said, that's the Ocean Sparkles, which has got a blue. It's amazing. I've got samples somewhere. Let me just hang on and I'll show you guys. Just 1 second. Let me grab my sample. I'm just grabbing something else while I'm here. So let me show you. Okay, where are we? So we've got 8 colours. Whoops. So the first one is clear. So this basically is a clear, glossy, basically very much like glossy accents, but really nice and thick. And what I love about this being in a pot is that you can do lots of different things with it. So stencils are amazing. Look how shiny that is. So that's your glossy accents, basically. The difference is that it's not in a tube, it's in a pot. But look how gorgeous that is. So that's your kind of clear. I'm gonna, right, okay. This is the sugar pink. So look at the difference in the cardstock that you can actually see there. So basically, you pretty much get a really good glitter in that one, and you get lots of shine and shimmer in that one. So that's sugar pink. Sorry, I got distracted then because I'm looking at different cameras. Trying to find the right. I was meant to put these together. Right, okay. So then we've got Mermaid Mist. You would not think that was. I think this is the one that's most dramatic. Can you see on there? You actually do have like a little hint of shimmer, like a lilac-y shimmer on there. That's really mermaidy, which is why we call it mermaid. So it really reminds me of like the inside of a shell. But look at it on black card. That interference really comes through. So just stunning. You're going to love those. Then we've got Opal Frost. So Opal Frost is like, it looks clear, but then when it catches the light on white, it has like this little sort of pearlized, it's not gold, but it's like a gold tone pearl. Pretty much why we called it opal, because again, that's like the inside of a pearl shell. But look at it on black card. It's amazing on black. So it's just that real gorgeous gold and shimmer that you're going to get. So that's on both of those. Then we've got, I don't seem to have done the ocean. I don't think I've done one for ocean. How stupid. After all that, I'm not even the one that I actually am using. I haven't even done these little cards for. Anyway, Sunbeam Shimmer. Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. You'll love using that. It's one that you're going to use all the time. And then this one is the most unusual one. So this is called Forest Twinkle. And I really struggled for the name with this one because to me it's very green, but it also has a lot of aqua in it. It's got blue in it. There's a little bit of pink in there. And because when those colour, and also obviously gold, and when the green and the gold starts to kind of combine, because green is made up from blue and yellow, when you actually get the gold and the green together, you start to actually, the gold almost behaves like a yellow would, and yellow and green makes brown. So it has this brown undertone to it, which also goes quite, kind of like quite cognac-y. Can you see it there? So that's quite an unusual colour. Anyway, so that is the butters. Okay, so this I'm going to I could have been doing this while we were there. I'm going to start that off drying, and I might leave my heat gun on and just let it sit in front of it if I can. I don't know whether I can rig it up somehow. But it is going to set really quick. I have to say the butters dry very, very quickly. Even thick like this, because they're quite thick, they actually dry probably within about 10-15 minutes, I would say. Christine, don't worry, so was I. 15 minutes late, totally forgot. This is all pretty much dry now. So that's kind of pretty good here. So, sorry, I've got two different cameras. I've got a different camera here, and I keep going off to this edge. So I apologise on TikTok. So I'm filming this for a TikTok video as well. But can you see all of that? I don't know. Can you see that shimmer? Just caught a little bit of it there. Can't see it, can you, on the camera? There you go. On the camera, it's just shimmering. It's gorgeous. Right, okay. So I'm going to just stand these here out of the way a little bit. So we were talking about what can we do with our cards and stuff. So I've got here my little polar bear, and I'm gonna just refer to the packaging just to look how he goes together. That is very, very simple. So we need, what colours should we have? I think we need a little bit of lilac. God, my desk is absolutely trashed now. Do you know what? I've got to confess, I hadn't even tidied my desk up from Sunday. You know, yeah, I'm just filthy. I'm filthy. Yeah, I hadn't actually tidied up, so apologies for that. Okay. So, whoops, side camera, there we go. Right, I'm grabbing salvage patina. Oh, and you know what as well? Because I hadn't tidied it up, I didn't notice that I'd actually left the lids off my ink pads as well. So, our little bear here, he actually has little perforation marks to sort of guide you on where to kind of position things, where to colour things. Let's see if I can zoom in there a bit more. There we go. There we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So I'm using salvage patina. Now we have a separate head. So this bit here is his head. But what I want is I want to have some shading underneath his head. And a little bit of, so this colour is just perfect for it really. So that's our body. And then his head look goes on top. We're going to decoupage that on like that. Now you've got just a little bit of his ear at the back that you can actually see there. So I kind of want to make sure that I highlight that. And because we've got this shadow under here, I want the white of his face to be against. So it's kind of the same principles when you colour in generally. I bend that. So I want, you know, like the main principle of shading when you're colouring is, you know, white against shadow. So look, can you see what I mean by that? So when I actually put his little face there, look, it really stands out now. So get rid of that. I'm going to bring in just a little bit of lilac. And if you mix the lilac and the blue, it just gives you just something just like a little bit extra. It's like adding a shadow with the lilac in there as well, without going too mad. Now, one other thing that I want to just do, I'm going to bring in my fossilized amber. Now, I don't know if this will even work because, like I say, oh yeah, it's all right. I left the lid off this. So I'm just rubbing this off onto my mat here. If you ever look at a polar bear, it's not only white, it actually has a slight kind of yellowness to them. And you won't see this at the minute, but once I kind of get him a bit closer to the screen, I'll show you him on screen. Now you need to be careful because I don't want it to go green, but I just want to get just that slight yellow. And one thing I do want to get is I want to get a little, I don't know if they probably don't have pink ears and cheeks, but mine's going to. Okay, so in his little ear here, I'm just, oh, bit too much Nikky there. Okay, now here's a little tip for you. I always keep one of my stencil brushes white, so I keep it white. And so there, where I went a little bit mad, because this has never had any ink on it, or it's clean. It has actually, but what I do is I clean it, and then now I can really blend that off. So that's a really good little tip for you. And I'm just going to knock that back a little bit with a bit of blue. So didn't expect that there was any colour on that, because I don't think I actually dabbed it on. So I'm going to give him a little bit on his cheek. And again, I'm going to just blend that right out. And you'll get this really nice soft blend, because all you're doing is, it's like using your blender pen with your Copics. Bit too much, but it'll do. It'll be okay. Right, let me just clean this. Right, so let's kind of make him up now. He has a little scarf as well, and he does have a little nose and things, but I've just lost them. I think that might be it. Okay, so what colour should we do? What colour shall we do? Is we need to do it red, don't we, really? Nice red scarf. Obviously you could just colour this with your Copics if you wanted to, or what you could do is you could use a little stencil as well. I've got a stencil here. I do. Do you know what's going to be really cute? Look, I've got this Merry Christmas stencil, so I'm going to get the pieces of his scarf, and it kind of goes together like that. That's how it's going to sit. And I'm just going to hold that in place just with my wands, and then I'm going to stencil. This is the Merry Christmas stencil. So I'm going to, I don't know whether I like it. Let's see what happens. See what I mean? This is how useful these are if you use a magnetic mat. So he's got a little Merry Christmas. Oh, how cute. Now the other thing as well is that the Merry Christmas actually makes just such a lovely background. Now this, is it dry? It's getting there, you know. Look, I can actually touch this. I mean, it isn't set, it's still, you know, kind of soft, but I'm not getting anything on my fingers now. That's how fast these dry, and I absolutely love that they do that. Right, I'm going to go back in now. Just clean that off. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in, and this time I'm going to use the gloss white paste. Now the gloss white, we didn't see this one earlier. Just take my lid off. Now this one, again, it's very thick, look. I mean, you know, it might come out, but this is just lovely. So I'll just clean my spatula because I don't want to get any colour whatsoever in this one. So, but look, can you see look how thick that is? And this is ultra glossy, so think of like it's really opaque. So what I want to do is I'm not pressing on the edges of like my bauble, because I don't want it to flatten my snow that's around the outside, but I just want to put a little bit in. Perfect. Oh, that's so nice. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I should maybe have put a bit more in. Oh, so nice. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Look at that. Look at that. Look at the dimension, because these are so thick. And also these are our embossing stencils, so the stencils are thicker as well. But look at the dimension that you're going to get on that. Right, let me excuse me for the notification there. Don't know what that's all about. Right. Look, same spongy still. Not had it in water at all. Look how clean it gets everything. Just holds on to everything. The only thing I would say is with the pastes, you know, some of the gunkier ones that have got glitter in it, it doesn't hold on to glitter because it kind of has no fibres. So, hello to everyone that's joining. Glad to see I'm not the only one with an overflowing desk. Yeah, no, you can't even see it. If I zoom out, shall I zoom out and let you see? Watch this. Oh no, well, you can't really. But yeah, if you could see the rest of the mess. Right, anyway, absolutely love that. I am going to blast it because I want to, again, I want to start getting that drying. Oh, I can't believe how well that stencil worked. Do you know, this stencil takes us an absolute age to cut. Chris goes mad. He was kind of like, when I designed it, he was like, why can't you just make the words bigger? And I said, because I don't want it. The whole point is it's like type, all type. And I'm so glad I stick to my guns. He was always trying to get me to do something different that makes life a bit easier. But anyway, right, okay, so let's come back to this little guy. So I need a little bit, let's get a little bit of 3D foam. So we've got, in fact, I'm going to do 2. Oops, that's sticky. It's very weird crafting in the dark. And do you know what? Now, you see like his back ear, I can see now I want that a little bit darker. So I'm going to just add a little bit more, a bit of a darker blue in there. So I use Salvage Patina. This is Peacock. There we go. That's all it needed. Look, it looks much better just with that bit of Peacock. And I'm going to just add that as well here. I love that we've got these lines in this die because you have something to sort of guide you. So like right under there. And that now is going to knock, if I take that right back, kind of takes a bit more on his ear. Let's have a bit of purple on that as well, because like I say, that'll just make it look a little bit more shaded. Yeah. See what I mean? Look how cute he is. Right. The other thing I do want to do is, you see like now, where we've got it, I should have done this first really. So where we've got his little scarf, which is going to sit like this. So his scarf goes like that under there. I want to, the scarf looks odd because everything else is kind of inked. So I'm going to just ink the edge. And it'll just tie it all in. And that's a little tip for you. One of my top tips is if you use ink on a project like this, I kind of feel, I mean, you don't have to because there's no right or wrong, but personally, I feel, and I'm going to, I'll just do the edges first. And just zoom back in again a bit. So I actually feel that if you don't then edge everything else or ink everything else, it kind of looks a bit strange. It looks like you forgot to do something. Now, His scarf here, this bit is also behind. So this is the beauty of these little brushes. Whoops. So I'm just going to shade that there. And again, don't forget your purple. I can put my purple ink away. Oh, there it is. So I'm using shaded lilac. And it just makes it, on top of the blue, it just makes it look more like a shadow. So, can you see what I mean? So now, when we sit that on there, or the other way around, let's get some glue and stick it down. Gosh, we're at 8 o'clock already, guys. 45 minutes already. And we didn't hang around, did we? In the end. Whoops, not that one. I want that one down first. So you could cut 2 of these if you wanted. I'd be tempted to actually layer this up. So let's put his, where should we put his scarf? You could put it here if you wanted to. Can't decide. It's up to you where you want to do it. Oops. Let's just put it there. Let's not overthink it too much. Do you see how it kind of all goes and works in together now? Because I actually did that ink. If I'd have left it just completely white, it would have looked a little bit strange, I think. So what I need now is I need a nose. And I'm not sure which is his nose, so I'm going to use this one. What you could, in fact, what I might do, just to save a bit of time, is let's just colour one. Oops, there goes my scissors. She says, it'll save a bit of time, she says. I've lost my Sharpie. I can't see anything because it's dark. It's not that dark really, but it is quite. Right, okay, so I'm going to just do it on here. Okay, but you do have a nose included. Oh, that's so cute. And then just, you've also got, if you look on the dies, you've also got his eyes there as well, and 3 snowballs. I'm just gonna draw in his eyes, just again, just to save time. It's up to you if you want to do that. You can put one eye on. I kind of feel like he needs 2. So I'm going to just put his other one there. Oh, and if you really wanted to, they kind of do have, I don't know, they do have claws, don't they? You could actually put his claws on. Shall we do that? Let's just see what he looks like with his just little tiny claws, I think he has. Thinking about it. Oh, he's so cute. Right, okay. So let's start to see how this is going to come together, shall we? So what I would do, so we've got our bauble. Must stay in the centre. We've got our bauble. Now, if you remember, do you remember we actually cut out this gorgeous kind of crowny tiara die cut? To me, this is just gorge. So I was thinking, I mean, when I designed this, I kind of had it in mind that it was going to sit on top of a card like that, but you could have it anywhere you want. Let me just grab some black cards so you can see what I'm doing underneath. So we've got white dies and white dies and white dies. Okay, so you know, you could edge it like that basically. Really nice. You could bring it down a little bit. You could just add it across as a border. You could cut into it. I actually want my bauble, the top of my bauble, to sit above. So I think what I'll do is we'll actually position this here. Okay. And then the other idea that I had to do as well, do you remember we cut out other things? I don't know where they've gone now. Oh, crikey. Where did my ice branches go? Can anyone see them? There. Look, I've got all things hidden under here. Okay, so if you didn't see right at the beginning, we have this die which is called iced branches. And Polkadoodle. So in here, I've got my glasses on, that's why I can't see. I'll take my glasses off. It's not helping either because I didn't take the tape off the back of this. But you have little tiny bits of foliage in here that also cut and should pop out. There you go. Little tiny snowflakes they are, but they're actually designed. Now I've lost a lot of the leaves. Oh, there they are. It's quite a delicate die actually. So this is the packaging for this one. I get my pen out of the way so I don't knock it over. Let me just show you the packaging. So it looks quite boring on the packaging, but you can actually use this all year round. It's just like a really good tree branch, but it's great for making fences and things like that as well. So, you know, it's a really quite a versatile one. So what I'm thinking is we could kind of have him. See, I'm not sure about using this now. I don't know whether it's going to be a bit much. Maybe we go there. I kind of feel like we're not showing the nicest bit of this. But anyway, let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. Let's see how it looks. So, my little branches. So you have 2 branches. And what I kind of wanted to do, so you can overlap these if you want to. So, and you can position these however you want. Okay, I kind of like them like that. Oops. That's completely up to you. Whoops, I'm not doing a good job, am I? Okay. So what I was going to do initially, my whole idea, it's not going to work with my polar bear. So if I take this off, this is my vision of what I was going to actually do. I've just put my finger in the paste. So if you had just your ice branches, come on, Nikky, stop being all fingers and thumbs. So it's hard when you don't glue things down, isn't it? But what I was thinking was you could hang your presents off your branches, which would be really nice, I think. I think that'd be really cute. And how these actually work, these dies, is the die, if you look at the die, it's got these extra bits, and that actually means that you can colour these. So if I get my red, and we don't do this anymore, do we? But I think it's because manufacturers don't make them like that anymore. You know, we kind of lose things along the way. We're all trying to innovate all the time, and we kind of forget about some of the really good stuff that we used to do before. Look, that one just sits in there. Where's my greens? And now we can just colour this one too. Do you remember when we were all, you know, desperate to to have dies that we could emboss and colour. And we all used to ink all our borders, didn't we? And then this little guy here, this is really cute. This actually has dots on it. But this one, oh no, you can't with that one. So this one just embosses. Look, it's actually got dots. So, but you can't colour that one. So, if I just literally show you just slightly, let's just put a slight little bit of green on, bit of blue. Oops. Just to make it look a little bit icy. And I'll show you what I would do with this. Oops. So I would literally have those like that. I'd have the white one in the middle. The red one, we've got little and then does this work? Oh no, that's not it. Get your jelly roll or a piece of string and then you could literally have your prezzies hanging off your branches. And this one, I'm going to have this one coming down behind of this one. Like that. And if you wanted to, what I would do, I'd kind of put a little, God, I don't know how long, it's a long time since I've used my jelly roll. Just put a little kiss in there maybe. But you get the picture. And you could actually do them at a bit of a jaunty angle, which would be quite nice actually. Yeah, sort of do them a bit like that. And then I think it would be really nice to add paste or glitter onto the branches. And then obviously, you know, you've kind of got all your extra little bits here. So you could have these actually falling down. And I'd cut a couple of those. I'd cut them like maybe 2 or 3 times. So just that's such a simple way to use those dies together. I mean, a very simplistic card, I would stencil the background so that you've got a bit more going on and add a little bit more. You know, maybe, you know, you add this on the top. You know, this makes everything just like pop, I think. Or you could put, you know, you could put it at the bottom, you could put it on the side, you know, completely up to you. But anyway, that's kind of one way of doing this. But we aren't going to do that. So we've got our bauble here. Now, what I do want to do, I'm going to bring in this stencil. So this is the Peace, Joy, Love stencil, which I am in love with. Absolutely, this is my favourite stencil of the year, I think. This and the Merry Christmas one, just absolutely love. Now, I don't want all of this. And you could, yes, you could put your paste in here again. I just want a little hint. So I'm just going to literally add a little bit. And just because I've got all this white paint here that we didn't use before, I'm going to just spread this a little. But this could be your white gloss paste as well, which would look really, really nice. So I just love how it catches into those letters. So I'm not doing the centre because I'm going to cover that up, so it'd be just a waste. And if you wanted to, because this has got like trees in, you can actually catch and just fill the trees in if you wanted to, which is quite cute. Just pick the trees out each time, or pick something else out. There's hearts in here as well, so they actually look really nice too. Right, let's lift that off. I must remember to go and wash all my stencils out. I've got nowhere to put it. Let's put it there. Okay, so now if we then bring in our plaque as well, and then we've got our cute little bear here. So he could just be, I think this would be really nice, you know, for like a baby's first Christmas or something like that. Now, what I do want to do is, gosh, well, look at the time. Okay, so I've got here, these are our leafy fronds. This is a leafy fronds dies that we released as part of the summer garden. So what I want to do again is I'm just going to catch these with a bit of white paint or paste, and I just want to put that in there. And I've got a couple of these. I mean, you could just dip them in if you wanted to, make it a bit easier, completely up to you. Let's put one there. Feeling like there's something missing. Me having clean fingers, maybe. You see, with this, you could even tear this up, couldn't you, and actually put it around the edges. So, Christmas trees. What I want to do is let's get some Christmas trees in as well. So, in fact, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Forest Twinkle. Yes. Perfect for these. Okay, my thing's not clean, but never mind. So this is from, so I'm using here the bits and pieces from the Yuletide Christmas MDF. Now actually I really like having the white in there as well. Makes it look really nice. Look, I'm so messy. Please clean your blooming tools. Don't do what I do. Honestly, I've ruined this now. It's not dark enough. But anyway, be okay. So let's just move him to a side. So we've got enough room for his trees to go in. Now these are going to go, I must clean that. Look what I've done. I've got all blue in there. And I've lost the, because I've mixed paint in there, I didn't think about what I was doing. I've lost the glitter and the iridescence. So don't go mixing. I'll show you what I mean. Can you see that sparkling? Look, that one's sparkling. That one isn't, look. It is a little bit, but look how sparkly that is compared to that. And that's because I've mixed white and blue in there. And obviously mixing the paint in, you know, has completely changed the structure. Because that paint has now coated the glitter, so it's not glittery anymore. So don't do that, guys. Okay, You can really see it actually side by side, can't you? The difference it's made. It's all a little bit bluey for me. It's all a little bit blue. Something missing. It needs like some red. So we do have this flower that I made on Sunday. This is from the brand new Delicate Daisy Poinsettia dies. So it's basically like a daisy die. It's this one. But it also makes great poinsettias as well. So we need some colour on here to kind of like highlight this. So I think if I just push them up there a bit, I would probably be inclined to just sit that there. And what else have we got in here? I don't want to do too much more. We've got some stars. And, oh yeah, this is what I want to put on. Look, we've got this gorgeous cutout tree here. That was what I was trying to find before. So, this is how I like to use these. So just layer those three together. Add your little poinsettia down there. Let me just put that away. And then I've got some stars, and I've got a big snowflake here, which maybe I could layer. I don't know. I don't want to go up too much. So I'm going to put, let's do white stars, just for speed, because time's getting on. And I feel like we could do with, so I would glue that there. And obviously, you know, this is taken a little bit of time to do. Well, we've got a little one. We've got a bigger one. You've got lots of stuff in the Yuletide Christmas. Oh, there we have some little ones. Okay. And obviously you can take more time and be a bit neater than I'm being. It's not ideal, is it? Let's get off. So I'm going to leave that just at 3 stars up there. Quite like that. Let's press that one into there. In fact, that's annoying me because it's the same size as that one. Let's do a small, a medium and large. And put that one there. I don't like things being symmetrical. Yeah, so you could, if you wanted to, you could bring, you know, an extra wooden one in. But I think I'm inclined to kind of just want to add one more thing that's going to just look really nice. So to go with the, in the Pretty Flower Die collection, we have also, there are 5 die sets basically. So in there is also this one, which is called the Starburst. You get 3 flowers in this. It's 1 die, but you're going to cut 3 flowers at the same time. That's right. Okay. And basically, if you saw me on Sunday, you'd have seen us make it. Everyone was going mad for this. So basically, it cuts these gorgeous starbursty flowers out, which are also like fireworks, but to me they're also snowflakey as well. So I think, looks like, have I used all my little ones? Yeah, I think I've used all the little, oh no, I've got one here. Look, so this is that daisy flower again. And look, so that's your daisy in same flower as this one, look, but just doing it in different colour. And then this is the little tiny starburst, and it looks gorgeous when you actually use it as a flower centre. So what I was thinking was it would maybe look quite nice. There's two here stuck together because I double cut these. There we go. Oh, no, don't think I can separate them now. Anyway, just mold these. I want to separate it. There we go. So you could then layer that behind your flower as well, just to add a little bit more white to it. You see, like I mean, that's a smaller one. That's the medium one. Let me see if I can get the big one apart. Got glittery fingers. There we go. So just mould that. Add that behind your flowers. It doesn't matter what kind of flower it is, but it works particularly well with this because obviously it's the poinsettia. And then look, so you can layer these up. And again, let's just put a little bit of blue in the middle of this one. Oops. Like that, look. Add that one. And then what you could do is you could either put it there or they would look nice. Let me get rid of them out of the way. You could also kind of maybe have it over here somewhere. Everything's sticking down now. So it would look quite nice just kind of sitting, coming out of there if you wanted to. Just behind, with your star behind it, which is kind of what I quite like. See, maybe now, just layers. I love things with lots of layers, as you might have guessed. And then this one, look, you can put that in the centre if you wanted to. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm liking that as a poinsettia, I have to say. This is all sticking down and it's actually moved now. But anyway, so there is our little bear. So I'm not going to do anything else with it. It does need a bit of red. And I would put a bit of red. Have I got any red? Where's my stuff gone? Yeah, I do. So it needs a bit of red twine. If you really wanted to. Could do a bit big maybe. Let me grab this. So have you been entering win? Have you been typing win in the comments? I haven't seen any. Win in the comments. You've got a minute to type win and I will pick somebody to get this die. So somebody can have the little bear dies. So type win in the comments if you want to win the bear dies. And also, oh, I've made a pixie of that. I wanted to, it'll do. It'll do. It'll be okay. How's that? That way. There you go. Yeah, also use code, what was it, live10 to get 10% off your order for the next 2 days. That's valid until Thursday, I think. So, let me see, can you see that straight on? There you go. Don't know why this camera is like not very good. It's as if the stream isn't very good. Maybe that's why I lost Instagram earlier. So quite cute. Personally, I'd prefer it on one of the things that it's not matted and layered, so it kind of needs another layer behind it at the back, I think. I think if I did that, it would completely transform it. Um, so, and I just wanted to show you our design team member, Rachel. I feel really bad because I asked her to make me some extra cards samples for our Yuletide Christmas collection, which was on Hobbymaker yesterday. And if you missed Hobbymaker, then please go back and watch it. You can still watch the replays, even if you don't want to. Mind you, yesterday there wasn't really any demos because everything literally was a sale hour and a clearance and everything sold out. But yeah, you can go back and watch it. There are a few little things that are still in stock, but nearly everything was sell out or down to like maybe one or two left in stock. So if you want to grab some absolute bargains, you need to go onto the Hobbymaker. It's hobbymakertv.com, I think. But anyway, just look for Hobbymaker, just Google Hobbymaker TV and you'll find it. And then go onto the watch guide for yesterday and you'll see the Polkadoodles hours at 2 and 5. I thought it was at 2 and 7, so I've had 2 days of mistakes. But I asked Rachel to make me some extra samples and I forgot to send them into the studio, and I need to show you these because I feel terrible. And these are absolutely amazing. And the colour scheme she's used here is just phenomenal. Look at this. So if you got the vintage text poinsettia stamps, dies and stencils, which were on the show yesterday, like I say, they might still be available, but we are literally, if there are any, it's down to like maybe 3 tops, I would say. But how gorgeous is that? I would never have thought of doing that colour combo for a Christmas card. Absolutely love it. And actually, oh no, she has done it that way. So I'm thinking it's a tent card because that's how I designed the stamp that way. But actually, she's done it that way, look, with the sentiment. But isn't that gorgeous? And I love the fact that you can do it that way because the stem comes this way, but you don't even really see it because you've got 25th of December there. And she must have been on a roll and loving this colour combo, which I'm not surprised. Imagine doing that for Christmas. Wow. I honestly talk about inspiring. Because look, she's used the same colour combo to do the vintage stag as well. So again, there's only 1 or 2 of these left in stock, I think. If you can't get them on our website, check Hobbymaker. If you can't get them on Hobbymaker, check our website because I think we've literally maybe got like 2 between us. But gorgeous. This is a stamp, die and stencil set. Okay, so again, that gorgeous colour combo. And then these are also part of the Yuletide collection as well. Absolutely stunning. Let me just zoom that out a little bit. Isn't that stunning? So again, I just wouldn't have thought of doing those colours, but I absolutely love it. Wouldn't that look gorgeous on your Christmas tree? You know, that colour combo, I mean, that purple, blue and green. It's just gorgeous. Wow. Good job, Rachel. And she's done vintage bell. This is vintage bell stamps, and I think you get the holly in that. And then this is the holly bauble stamp set. And they all go, this is all one collection. This is the Yuletide Christmas collection. It is actually last year's Christmas collection, but we have a little tiny bit of stock left, like I said. And then look, purple poinsettias, who'd have thought? But also, when you actually see them like this is what I was saying before about the daisy dies, that poinsettias aren't just, it's not just for Christmas. Because if you coloured these, if you did that just and didn't put a Christmassy message on, that can be all year round. Absolutely gorgeous. I hope Rachel's watching because, like I say, I forgot to send these in to Sharon and the studio, and I saw them on my desk yesterday, and I was like, oh no. And I always feel really bad if I don't show the design team samples because they put so much hard work into them. These are stunning. And Rachel's actually coloured these with the stencils. So all of these have stencils that match to colour. Actually, not all of them. That one doesn't. But the poinsettia does. That's poinsettia wreath stamps. That's your vintage stag, stamps, dies, stencils, text poinsettia stamped dies stencils, poinsettia wreath stamped dies stencils, and then these ones are just stamps and dies. So you've got vintage bells and vintage bauble, holly baubles. So absolutely beautiful. Right, time for me to draw a winner. Okay, where are we? I am gonna just close my eyes and let's see who's with us. Try and make sure I don't pick someone that's won before. There's a couple of design team people here, so you can't win, girls. Sorry. Right, I am gonna pick. Let me see. Lisa Zomi. Lisa, you are our winner. Congratulations. So you are going to win. I'm going to send you the Ice Branches die because I love it. And you're also going to get the little polar bear as well. So Lisa, can you email me website at polkadoodles.co.uk and I will, with your snail mail address, and I will send that prize out for you. So congratulations. Right, well, that didn't work out too bad in the end, did it? 2 cards we made, kind of. Not bad considering I wasn't here till 7:15 because I forgot that was meant to be on the live. Oh, God, Nikki. Right, okay. I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you for bearing with me for an hour and a half. It's not possible for me to do a live in an hour. I've decided I just can't do it, guys. Can't do it. Hour and a half. I'm going to go and have some tea now. Chris is still out working. I haven't even made his tea for him, bless him. He must be starving. Right. So well done, Lisa. Thank you all for joining me. I will be back on Sunday with another live. I will be prepped this week, honestly, I promise. We'll do a project. I might have something new for you on Sunday that's really cute, actually. I was going to show you it tonight, but I haven't got room on my desk. So I will see you on Sunday. Thank you so much. If you want the pretty flower dies, don't forget these are brand new. I only launched these on Saturday. So these are brand new, 5 different gorgeous flowers that you can use all year round, Christmas and all year. They're going to work brilliantly. And anything else, don't forget, use your code LIVE10 until Thursday morning, I think it runs out. Right, over and out from me. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry that we lost Instagram if you were watching there and had to go somewhere else. We'll try harder next time. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.